There's a difference between a career and a calling. A career is what you're paid for. A calling is what you're made for. And I believe you were called. A career is based on compensation, while a calling is based on the revelation. Know that you're called to do this. Like, you've just got that burning deep down feeling inside of your heart that you were made to do this. You've got to do music. It's like running through your veins. Now, if you're an artist and you're trying to do music and your reason is only to get rich, I've got bad news, because you're always going to struggle, because you need to tap into your why. You can't just be like, I want to make a bunch of money. You see, you have to have a why big enough so that you can figure out any how. And this all comes down to mindset. You see, poor artists always say, I can't afford that. That's too much. Where rich artists always say, I can't afford that right now, but how can I afford that? How can I make it work? You see, this is where it comes down to knowing your why and your purpose and your calling, because when you know your why and that you're called to do this deep down in your heart, you'll figure out any how. You see, it's not about your resources, it's about your resourcefulness. You work with the hand you're dealt with. And some people will say, well, I wasn't dealt a very good hand. You see, but it's not about the hand you're dealt, it's how well you play that hand. You do what you have in your hand. You use what's in front of you and you figure it out. My name's Chris, also known as the artist Manafest. I've been doing music full time for over 15 plus years. I have about 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. We had a song in the Olympics and the Super Bowl last year. And I'm the creator of the 5-day Spotify challenge that I hope to see you at next. And I didn't grow up with like a silver spoon in my mouth, okay? I didn't grow up rich. I actually grew up without a dad. He committed suicide when I was 5 years old. So I didn't have this father figure to, look up to. And so we struggled financially. And so I had to figure things out. And one of the biggest things that I learned was to stop trading my time for money. Okay, Warren Buffett says if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, you will always struggle. So we need to learn how to make this thing called Swiss dollars. And it stands for sales while I sleep soundly, or streams while I sleep soundly. You see, I did quit my job too early to do music full time. I actually went from 5 days a week to 4 so I could play shows on Friday, and then 3 so I could also have that Monday. And let me tell you, all of a sudden when I have all this time and I hadn't really built up my music career, my income came down. And here's the problem. You should never kill one income stream until you really built up and exploded the other income stream. But I was like had this desire that I had to make, music full time, and it had to be a full living. And so I was willing to figure out the how, because I knew my why. I knew I was called to this, but my how wasn't fully right. I hadn't figured it out. So I went over $30,000 in debt because I eventually just quit my job. I got signed to a record deal and they didn't give me an advance, and I had to figure out this thing. And the problem was, I was in the right business. I was in the music business, but I was in the touring business, okay? So we would only get paid once per the show, okay? And sometimes we get paid a lot. I get thousands and thousands of dollars. And honestly, that's how I survived for a long time, was just getting paid for each one of those shows, right? While the label was making all the record sales and the streaming money. You see, when I didn't do a show, I didn't get paid. But even when I stopped doing shows, the label kept on getting paid. And thank God I signed a licensing deal where I eventually got all my albums back. And so all of a sudden, my Swiss bank account just started going through the roof. Let me know in the comments if you want to earn some Swiss dollars. So all of a sudden, I'm getting all these checks from DistroKid or TuneCore, or whoever I was distributing my music with at the time. And so all the streaming money started coming in. But this is the interesting thing. These are for albums that I recorded years ago, right? Like album songs I did years ago. To this day, I'm still getting paid for music that I wrote in 2001. Okay, that kind of dates me. I've been in this game for 24 years, all right? I'm 45 years old. I know I don't look it. It's because of the surfing and the skateboarding and this lovely music industry. But no, seriously, guys, it's because, I'm in the music business the right way. Okay, and this is the poverty trap we've all got to escape from. I want artists to escape from, is to stop trading your time for money. Yes, you have to invest your time so that you can get your time back. You've got to start focusing and doing things that don't just pay you once. Like this YouTube video will pay me forever. The books I write, my book Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear and Reaching Your Dreams, or Spotify Profits. If you haven't read those, read those. But I created those years ago, and they still pay me to this day. I went and did a live in concert, and we recorded it, and we filmed it, and then we released it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. And so I took something that normally I'm only paid once for, and we turned it into a product, and now it's paying me over and over again. Because we have this thing called time, which is a limited resource. You can always make more money, but you cannot always make more time. And so when I really had that revelation of like, oh my gosh, so I need to use my money to buy back my time. And the other thing I have is a limited resource is this muscle. Okay, everything that I was doing required my muscle and my energy. And one really big revelation that I had was stop going 1-to-1 and start going 1-to-many, 1-to-1,000,000. And I shared this on the Spotify challenge. I think it's day 1 or day 2. I can't remember when we share it, but it was that I used to tour my face off, and I'd play shows for maybe 100 people at a time. And then we got on a big tour, and then we were in front of like 1,000 or 2,000 people in one night. Okay, so all that effort of playing a show, setting up, playing a longer show, like an hour per show, because I'm the headliner, right? Takes me like 10 days, travel, all this energy, right? Where one night, one show, and I'm not even doing a full hour set. I'm doing maybe a 30-minute set. So I'm expending less energy. I'm using less energy, less effort, and less time, and I'm in front of way more people, and the impact is bigger. That's the difference between working harder and working smarter and getting out of this poverty mindset, getting out of this starving artist mentality and start becoming the starring artist. I'm going to say that again. Stop being the starving artist and become the starring artist. And that's changing your mindset. And so we also do this other ways with online advertising and marketing, Facebook and Instagram ads, Spotify ads, social media, right? Reaching millions of people. Instead of thinking local all the time, we're thinking global. Right? I'm on the road right now. I'm on a writing trip. I'm going to invest my time and my energy to write a song so that it can go to millions. The other thing that we teach about, and we spend a whole day on this, is collaborations, right? Like I'm working with other people today. I'm not just like on my computer by myself here. I'm like got my little setup here in the hotel right now, but I'm going to go to a studio. I'm going to go work with someone else. And so I'm not just going to use my talent and my skills. I'm going to tap into other people's talents, skills, studio, and their time, right? And so now we're leveraging both of our talents, both of our times. Oh my gosh, we spent a whole day on this, on collaborations and tapping into other people's network. Like stop being this solo artist that's just all on your own all the time. Work with other people, man. You know, we're better together. You know, in the Bible, it says that if one can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000. And this is the thing, I say it all the time. I'd rather have 50% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape. And because if like we get a 5 or a 10x effort, let's just say we get 10,000 like the Bible says, right? Like we earn $10,000 because we work together as opposed to me just working by myself and only making 1,000. If we make 10,000 and we split that money, they get 5,000 and I get 5,000, that's still 5 times. So this is what I mean, where I would rather have 5,000 versus 1,000. That's what it means about 50% of the watermelon as opposed to 100% of the grape. I hope this video inspired you. Keep learning, keep investing in yourself. I hope to see you at the next 5-day challenge. We'll put the link below.